Capricorn had been living in the ice cap since the beginning. They did not abandon their homeland, even in the most extreme weather. They had learned to cope with the changing weather, but still most of the deaths were caused by weather. Ice cap is the only home for Qoum, the most expensive substance in the world, even more valuable than gold. It is clear like glass and solid. It can be melted and shaped into any object, from jewelry to weapon. It is only found in the coldest ocean in the world, the ice cap. Capricorn trade these precious stones with the world for food, clothing, and other items. Capricorn have always been cautious of outsiders. They doubt others as much as they are committed to each other. They only trade with their own cardinal land, but 200 years ago, Mutable offered people of Ice Cap, Capricorn, a reasonable trade, which involved an exchange of Qoum with anything that the Mutable have. Mutable has resources to transport goods from one end of the world to the other. One of the resources is the Great Railway, which is one of the miracles that the comet left behind thousands of years ago. This offer from Sagittarius was going to open opportunities of prosperity for Capricorn. Besides, they offered to employ the Capricorns for the importing job. This way, they can earn for themselves instead of only relying on selling Qoum. As much as Capricorn were committed to trading with their own cardinal land, they had to think about the best interest of their people as well. This could make them independent and save many families from being another weather casualty. So they accepted the trade. Many Capricorn appealed to living on the land with no weather restrictions, so they tried to get any job in Sagittarius land. This way they spread in Sagittarius land. Many worked on the ocean for mining Qoum. Mass exportation started to take place. Qoum could reach the world now more than ever. Sagittarius were employed for all the accounting matters, and all the labor work would go to Capricorn. Capricorn would just get their wages and value for Qoum enough to keep them alive. The Mutable got extremely rich through trading Qoum with the whole world. Organically, this resulted in Sagi supremacy. This caused chaos. It wasn't long before Capricorn realized it and retaliated. The rebellion started 20 years ago by an 18-year-old Capricorn boy named Kronos in Sagi's very own land. His personality was such as a mature man, very headstrong, very determined. This boy influenced thousands of Capricorns to crush the prosperous Sagi land and its people to the point where they no longer can stand back again the way they did before. The boy became to be known as Father, a title that had disappeared. Kronos took the first land by force, but he couldn't continue his conquest alone. So he asked for Ares' help. Ares has the greatest and most powerful army in the world. Sagittarius asked for Virgo's allegiance. Capricorn combined with Aries took 2 lands from Sagittarius. Conquering the land was easy, but stabilizing it wasn't. It took 20 years for Kronos to make these lands truly his, and to get people of Sagittarius to call him father. Kronos was finally living with his family in his conquered land when a rumor spread that there is another land on the east of the ice cap. When the rumor was investigated, it was found that it started from scholars of Sagi. First, it was thought to be a trap to lead Capricorn army astray and regain control on the lands. How can land emerge in the waters suddenly? Why was it unheard of before? But Kronos could not choose one uncertainty over another. He could not leave the east side of the ice cap unprotected, so he took a small troop to see if it was for real and to own it if it was. He was in the ship and he could really see an island. It was a small island, but enough for some people to inhabit. He got off the ship with his troops. It was dead silent. It didn't look like anyone was living there. A soldier spotted a ruined castle. Kronos entered the castle, followed by a few soldiers. They saw 4 women gathered around a stick holding something very luminous at the top. The women were wearing black cloak. It looked like they were praying. Kronos attempted to approach silently, but they heard him. They looked at Kronos and stood up. They got scared as if they had seen a ghost. They ran to get far away from him. As Kronos tried to talk, they disappeared, leaving one of them behind. It blew Kronos' mind. He could not believe his eyes. The woman at last panicked, as if she was expecting to disappear as well. She ran to the door and said, "Wait, take me too." But Kronos' soldier stopped her, took off her hoodie, and there was a Pisces witch. They are recognizable by their red head, white skin, and brown eyes. Kronos didn't understand what he had just saw. Kronos had heard about Pisces witches before. The world knows them for playing tricks with human minds, but Kronos thought they were just little tricks for entertainment. How can a human just disappear like that? Kronos took the woman, but she was numb and traumatized. She was crying. He took her as a prisoner for the moment and will question her when she feels more stable. Kronos headed back to his land the same night.